Michael Chambers, who I don't know who his insider is at the Blues, but he leaked on Thursday that Suoliti was in. By Friday, he had Dylan Edwards in. By Saturday, he'd basically named the team. Who's leaking to Chambers?
Don't know. That's a good sign of a good journo, though. It doesn't reveal his source. How's my man Buzz? He'd be a bit rattled because he usually leaks them.
Yeah, he wasn't leaking much, to be honest. Bedell was leaking the whole Queensland team. He knew Fifita wasn't in. Yeah.
Bedell's a sieve.
Alrighty,
sieve.
time for this, tourist.
It's an NRL news update. Subscribe to SEN League on YouTube and the SEN podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
All right, let's look at these sides, Fletch. The New South Wales Blues side has been announced. The new captain, Seagulls, Jake Trbojevic. Thoughts?
I suppose Teddy. Look, he couldn't have done more this opening 12 rounds. Although Teddy's been playing better than he was last year. But then you look at Dylan Edwards. We have lost the last two series. Madge has come in. We've got a new coach, and I knew from when we had that meeting. Madge got us all together about 6-8 weeks ago, all the Blues, True Blues, and he just kept talking about, look, it's a new change. I'm coming in here. I'm not picking on reputation. I'm picking on form. So he was true to his word. The Dylan Edwards is probably the biggest thing, and as I mentioned earlier, the biggest selection upset, I suppose. I thought was Joseph Suoliti playing in the centres. Because I know when he's played on the wing for the Chooks, he has pretty much didn't have to think about being in defence. I thought sometimes when he's playing in the centres, sometimes he sort of makes the wrong decision. But Madge has obviously looked at that and has found a way to improve that. I thought he would have been a perfect winger, but Zach Lomax now and Joseph will be partnering.
So we spoke about in the opener how much meterage that Blues side has out of the back half of the field with Edwards, Suoliti, Lomax, Toto, Crichton. Like that. That's probably 5 of the biggest meter men in the NRL, all in the back 5 for the Blues.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious when he's that's the way, and that's what happens in Origin. You play the game pretty much coming out of your own half. You very rarely get a chance to attack your opposition's line because the referee, for whatever reason, if he's told that or just because the players are so well disciplined, there's very rarely penalties. We just sort of, you got 34 of the best players, they don't really drop the ball as much, so it's end to end. And Madge has come out and picked this side, and you're spot on, Missile. I suppose Brian To'o's the leader there, but Joseph coming out of the back as well. So it is a team where I'm not going to say we're short on points, but I can see why he's picked this team, especially the forward pack, because it's going to be the first 20 minutes is going to be pretty physical, I'd imagine.
So there's 6 debutants in the side. Dylan Edwards, we've spoken about. Zach Lomax and Suoliti, we've spoken about. Then we've got Cam McInnes, Hamole Olakuatu, and Spencer Leniu in the forwards. Yep. Thoughts on those 3?
Yeah, well, Spencer, Brooksy, are you there? Are you still there, Brooks?
He's hovering about, but he's not on the mic.
Yes, I like Spencer, and I like...
Spencer was enormous on the weekend.
Yeah. So was Nafahu White.
Yeah.
Goodness me, he was good.
Is he a New South Welshman? I thought Terrell May may be a little hard done, but I think he's been awesome to start the year.
He was a smoky, but I think Spencer's been knocking on the door for a couple of years now. Yep. And he's played in big games.
Yep.
That's the big thing. You've got to experience playing in front of a crowd, playing under that pressure. And Spencer has done that, obviously, with the Panthers over the last couple of years. Our bench, when you read our bench, whether or not Yo starts on the bench, who knows? But
you think he might swap with McInnes?
I just don't expect him to. No, I don't. I expect him to play off the bench. I think this is what Madge is going to do. So we're going to be quite aggressive in the middle. If Liam Martin can play in the middle as well, so Cam McInnes can play in the back row if need be. I'm just trying to think if Nico goes down, and we only have those, we could probably move Isaiah. And Reece Robson, I suppose. I thought that was a bit of a shock. Appy must be busted. Do you think?
I don't know. It may just be the style he's trying to play. I mean, Robertson's a hard-nosed in defence, right?
Yeah.
He's a bigger body, plays a bit more straight up and down than an Appy, who's more creative, maybe a bit harder to gel with straight off the bat. It's hard to say without having heard Maguire speak yet.
Yeah, it is a totally different side we've seen in the last couple of years. As I mentioned, usually we go for an attacking team, guys who are very, very good with the ball. But Madge has always been a coach on about completing and being quite physical. And this is a side. Like there's not too many guys that are out of form, are they? When you look at this team,
yeah, it's all in form. Even Mitch Barnett on the extended squad's in form. Burton at 18th man is in form. Look, do I think it's a better squad than Queensland? No, but do I think there's as big a disparity as some are saying? If you go through man for man, which is what I like to do, Fletch, and say put the 2 1s against each other, who's a better player or who's in better form, the 2 2s, go through the squads, it levels out across the 17.
Yeah, I don't buy into that either. Like it's a team game, Missile. So
yeah.
We just need to be up for this. And that's all this the skill and the ability sort of goes out the window. In Origin, everyone needs to be up for this game. And we need to not make mistakes. And I think this team can do this.
One more question.
I don't see who's saying that they're saying they got a better side.
Yeah. Everyone's saying they got a better side. If you go on social media today, everyone's saying...
don't do that. Don't fall into that.
That's the world we live in, Fletch. That's the world we live in.
I think this team, especially the forward pack, we've got a better forward pack. There you go.
Wow.
I'm going to say we've got a more in form forward pack.
All right, just on that Queensland forward pack, no David Fifita. Even Kafusi and Brendan Piakora named as 18th and 19th man respectively. No Fifita anywhere in the squad. Thoughts?
Maybe Billy just thought, what he's gone through the last couple of weeks.
Too many distractions. Yep.
His head might not be right. He has played good the last couple of games, but Billy's obviously he's obviously seen something in maybe defensively. Like attacking Dave Fifita is a gun, but maybe in defence he's effort on effort, which is the total opposite to what Madge has picked in Cam McGuinness. I actually can't wait for the first 20 minutes. Hopefully there's a stink.
Who's the man to just start the stink then? Liam Martin? Hudson Young when he comes up? Well, look.
Liam Martin, Payne Haas. This is what we should do. We should throw out the sin bin rule, don't you reckon?
I agree.
Like if you get into a sting of the first 20 minutes, play on.
Yeah.
Anything after that, I understand. But I tell you what, we'd have record ratings if they came out and said that.
In terms of a stink, New South Wales bench, Hamole Olaquatu, Spencer Leniu and Hudson Young.
Oh, yes.
Decent.
Decent.
I would not want to punch on with Hamole.
Do you think the Selwyn... interesting selection, isn't it? Having a...
Could he come on as that 13 role?
I'm sure he could. I'm sure he could handle it. But I think this is taking a leaf out of Kevy's book. Remember when Kevy came out when he's coaching Brisbane, he said, I'll never not have a... Or was that in Origin? He said, I'll never not have a back on the bench again. Yeah. Because he sort of got burnt. Yep. Might have been the semis last year. So maybe that's what Billy's thinking. Because we've just gone for pure... for all forwards on the bench. So we know which sort of game we're going to be playing, our game plan.